Yeah, I'm still excited to see the Batman, but after Spider-Man No Way Home, I just don't see myself getting hyped for anything else. Okay, I'm back. Hello Batman fans, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. I had a whole different video planned for you guys, and then out of nowhere, Warner Brothers went ahead and decided to drop a brand new trailer for Matt Reeves' The Batman starring Robert Pattinson, and oh my god, you thought the previous trailers couldn't get any better? This thing is damn cinematic beauty. So what I'm going to do here for you guys is just talk about this damn trailer, appreciate some of the amazing shots in here, really just lighten up that fire to get us excited for the Batman. Let me know what you thought about this trailer if you have any thoughts or theories. And you know what? This trailer was so damn good. It's making me want to do something crazy. If I can get 10,000 likes on this video, I'm gonna go ahead and purchase a $300 cosplay replica outfit of the Robert Pattinson Batman suit. And I'll wears it out in public. All it takes is a like.
Bruce Wayne,
Sorry.
I wouldn't be bothering you here, but your people keep telling me you're unavailable.
So with the opening of this trailer, we get some really nice shots of Robert Pattinson's Batmobile that right now, it's starting to become my new favorite Batmobile. A lot of people were skeptical at first with this just being a simple muscle car that Batman built himself. A small car or not, it looks like this thing is being built like a tank because we get an extended sequence of Batman going after the Penguin, and just these little shots of Batman behind the wheel look really good. But come on, that tracking shot of the Batmobile skidding to a stop, the Penguin's car just roll into the frame, crashing like that right there is cinematic beauty. As this car chase was going down though, we do see that Robert Pattinson is showing up to a funeral event, as it's likely one of the first victims the Riddler got to, the one that got duct taped up with the words "No More Lies." But as Robert Pattinson Bruce Wayne is walking in, he is being grilled by what seems to be a reporter who's all on his case about why he hasn't decided to help out the city with his money, saying that his family had a history of being philanthropists and donating a lot of their money to Gotham City, and this version of Bruce Wayne has not done anything like that, but little does she know he dresses up like a bat and fights crime ladies to get off his back. And this is where the trailer kind of gets into some spoiler territory, because through some reveals, it looks like we're going to find out that the Waynes weren't as squeaky clean as we thought. In the next couple bits of the trailer here, I really like Robert Pattinson's stance as the Batman. He seems really intimidating the way he walks into a room, also getting way more used to the cowl on his head, which was like the only negative thing I thought about with his costume. But it looks like Robert Pattinson's Batman is joined here with a police officer of Gotham City as they've encountered the lair for the Riddler. You can see that the Riddler has mapped out Gotham City on his floor, and there's even little flickering lights around the city that gives us a real hint to the plan the Riddler has in this movie that the trailer kind of spoils for us. But before we get to that, we got to talk about this lair here that the Riddler has set up, because it looks like he's the next apprentice of Jigsaw, with a bunch of body traps being set up in the background that the Riddler will use on the victims of Gotham, more specifically corrupt politicians and police officers that he feels need to be taught a lesson. Now in the Japanese trailer separate from this one, we did get a shot of one of the traps that had a bunch of tubes that also read the words "No More Lies," and some details that have been let out about the movie say that those tubes will be filled with rats, and the person wearing that will start getting eaten slowly by rats. Kind of the Riddler's clever way of killing a rat with rats. From there we start to get a little bit more of Paul Dano's the Riddler, who I gotta say is creeping me the hell out with his little soft tone voice.
You came. I've been trying to reach you.
It seems like he's mainly going to be communicating with the Batman through FaceTime, whereas that conversation is going on between the Riddler and Batman. We cut to Selina Kyle mentioning that everything that the Riddler is setting up leads back to the Waynes, which was what I was mentioning, that this trailer is kind of spoilerish because it feels like their obvious way of letting you know that Robert Pattinson's parents in this incarnation of Batman were kind of corrupt individuals as well, and the Riddler, who knows this is Bruce Wayne because he says it in the trailer.
How am I part of this? Oh, you're really not as smart as I thought you were. Bruce Wayne.
Now, I do want to mention this is also like the first Batman trailer that shows some signs of humor, and I like it.
You got a lot of cats.
Never think about strays.
I know people usually like DC just to be dark, grounded, and gritty, but I kind of like this little joke they threw in there with Selina Kyle's character having a bunch of cats and Batman mentioning that. And I guess on the topic of Selina Kyle, we do see her fight the Batman here, and it makes sense. This trailer is called The Bat and the Cat. And boy, you know the tension between Catwoman and Batman here is real, to the point when Batman goes back home, he's watching some little naughty videos of Catwoman. As the trailer continues on here, we get a shot of what I'm assuming is Paul Dano's shows the Riddler, but throughout the trailer we do see that the Riddler will have henchmen or followers in his gang, so this could just be one of the lackeys and could also be one of the things that makes Batman confused on finding the real Riddler. We also get some signs of detectiving that Batman is doing here with a black light, along with also our first real glimpse of Gotham City that Matt Reeves has created, and it's kind of got a little bit of New York vibes, some grittiness. Feels like this would almost be the Times Square of Gotham City, but I like it here, especially the cinematography going on in this rain. But it's like I was saying at the beginning of the video, almost this entire trailer is just one cinematic masterpiece. As shots of the trailer continue on, we see here Batman and Gordon investigating an abandoned building, which I'm assuming is an old orphanage that Bruce Wayne and the Riddler came from, as again the Japanese trailer hinted that we would see a young Bruce Wayne and a young Riddler that grew up for a slight moment in the same orphanage, to where that'll be the connection between the Riddler and Batman, and it leads him here back to that orphanage, I'm assuming, where it says where it all began.
All these years, you lied to me, Alfred.
Showing us that Bruce Wayne is going to be pretty disappointed when he finds out what his parents were really up to. Also, really love this moment here where cops are going ahead and doubting Gordon and asking him why he's trusting a vigilante like Batman on an actual crime scene. From what we know, Gordon right now is not commissioner, he's still just a deputy, but it's kind of wild to just have someone yelling at Batman and him just kind of turn a little bit like, I can hear you. If we play this next part in slow motion, we get to see this Batman's grapple gun come into his hand out of his suit. That's really awesome right there. Anytime you can get Batman using his gadgets and being slightly different from the rest, I'm all on board for that. But I think what we're all really excited to see here in the Batman is him actually doing a lot more detective work, and we get hints of that with this trailer, giving us a Riddler.
It can be cruel, poetic, or blind, but when it's denied, it's through violence you may find
Justice. The answer's justice.
Anybody else get goosebumps when Batman just solves a riddle so easily? The horse's name was Friday. And towards the end of the trailer here, we do get to see Riddler's plan come to fruition, where if we go back to the apartment or lair that he was in, and he mapped out Gotham City with lights all surrounding the city, it was where the Riddler had planted a bunch of bombs so that he could go ahead and flood Gotham City, essentially washing it clean. And we could see a little bit of that destruction coming into the town. And I gotta tell you, this is like a cliched Batman villain plot, but the fact that they made it so serious and dark excites the hell out of me, because I'm pretty sure there's been a couple of Batman villains, whether it's in the comics, in the cartoons, that have done a crazy thing like this where they're gonna flood Gotham City, and then to see it here in such a serious take on the Batman, oh, I love you, Matt Reeves, almost as much as I love you for these Arkham style fight scenes. This trailer was absolutely fantastic. I was already excited for Robert Pattinson's The Batman, but admittedly my hype kind of died down just because things seemed to get quiet, and this trailer reignited it to where I'm like, March, you need to come soon. How are you guys feeling on the Batman trailer? Tell me your favorite parts, any theories or thoughts you can digest. Are you liking what Matt Reeves is doing with the character? Do you think Robert Pattinson has earned that Batman right? His voice in here is pretty cool. Anything, everything, be sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.